Populations differ on average in craniofacial anatomy, but averages hide huge individual variations. Genetics, growth and development, diet, breeding, and environment all shape faces. Nothing below is destiny for any individual. It's all about probabilities and clinical trends, not caricature. This video, like many others, will be split into multiple parts. First, why groups differ, and second, the differences in facial features between each group. If you want to support the channel and get your face evaluated by me with personalized looksmaxxing advice, link will be down in the description. If you want to start your own looksmaxxing journey but lack the knowledge, my book is also on my website. Without further ado, let's get this video started. So why do groups differ? Genetics and developmental biology. Genes strongly influence craniofacial growth patterns. Maxilla and mandible relationship, nasal form, and orbital shapes. Some alleles or developmental programs are more common in certain regional populations. Second, environment or ontogeny. Diet texture, childhood breathing, nasal versus mouth, and masticatory load affect midface growth across generations. Modern soft diets and mouth breathing can reduce forward midface projection. Third, bone density and aging patterns. Bone minerals density and age-related bone loss vary by ancestry. This changes how faces age. For example, some study shows higher facial bone density in people of African descent, which affects aging patterns. Fourth, cultural perception and exposure. What counts as a flaw is partly cultural. Cross-cultural study shows both universal preferences for symmetry and averageness, and culturally shaped focus where observers look. First, East Asian, including Northeast and many Southeast Asians, for their tendencies. For the midface, relatively flatter midface projection and shorter midface height, less forward maxillary projection in many East Asian groups. Palpebral fissure eye opening, sometimes narrow with common epicanthric folds. As for the nose, overall nose tends to have lower dorsum and less projection compared with European averages. Nasal base width may be narrower in some East Asian groups but less projected. Second, South Asian and Indian subcontinent, for their tendencies, high variability, but many groups average a broader nasal base and moderate midface projection. Some subgroups show higher rates of certain dental and occlusal patterns. Why does this matter? Wider nasal base and lower nasal bridges can affect perceived facial proportions and balance with eye width and dental occlusal structure. Third, Sub-Saharan African descent and many people of African ancestry, for their tendencies. Generally higher nasal width variability, often with wider nasal base and greater iris width on average. Many groups also show greater lip fullness and robust midface bone support. Facial bone density and different Asian trajectories have been documented. Mandibular prognathism, forward mandible prevalence varies across groups and can be higher in some African populations. Why does it matter? Wider noses and fuller lips are neutral or attractive in many cultural contexts. Issues arise when features are disproportionate to other facial elements or when the patient desires a different aesthetic. Fourth, European and Northern European, also known as Caucasian. The tendencies often display greater nasal projection and higher dorsum. Narrower nasal base relative to some other groups. Variability across Europe is large. Browish prominence and facial thirds vary across northern versus southern population. Why does it matter? As strong nasal bridges and more pronounced brows can be read as masculine or classical, but extremes, very prominent noses or brows, drive aesthetic interventions. Fifth, Middle Eastern or North African, for the tendencies. Often higher nasal projection with strong dorsal height but wide alar bases in some populations. Midface projection tend to be moderate to strong. Why it matters? Many aesthetic ideals in these regions already value prominent noses combined with strong cheekbones. Interventions typically aim to refine the shape and proportions, not reduce ethnic identity. Sixth, indigenous people, Americas, Oceania, and Pacific Islanders, for their tendencies. High regional diversity. Polynesia or Micronesia groups often show stronger cheekbones, broader facial width, and different hair and skin contrast. Native American populations can share epicanthic tendencies in some regions. But what do you guys think about all of this? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. That's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A like and subscribe will be highly appreciated. And like usual, catch you guys in the next one.